Ekasi Noble Property Development. We've got a development at Bears Nodia. This is a farm currently you might just think is Kanga. But we're excited because today we are hosting our property seminar here today with speakers like the great Pesisingo, Witness Mtaga, Lady Du, who's also one of our investors at our different developments. You've got Abosis Patega. I'm also here and I'm very excited because we are sitting with one of our investors, Mr. Lamela. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good at news, Buddha.
No, I'm great, my brother. Number one, where did you hear about Ekasi Noble Property Development and why did you invest in the Robin Park Investments opportunity?
Eqinisweni Buddha, I saw a advert with Facebook. Then I started going through a advert up until ngithola my contact details kaMapaseka no Siyabonga. Then I contacted them, sakhuluma. Then they gave me an opportunity to come and view the place in Randfontein. Then that's where I started having an interest in buying property. And after that, I've seen an opportunity that was brought by Ekasi Noble to empower Black people to have their own properties. And I will advise as many people to go through the process that I went through to have their own property.
Abantu abaningi, rightfully so, they do not trust, especially amakhampani amasha, abantu abamnyama, ikakhulukazi if they don't have a history of property development. That's why it's very important for people to do their own research and due diligence before they invest with any company. What gave you comfort to be sure that Ekasi Noble property development is legitimate?
You know what I did? I went to Randfontein municipality and I asked them about the place. Who's the owner of the place? They gave me the information that I needed up until I found out that Ekasi Noble, it's also included in selling the property. They actually bought that property to distribute it among their investors. That's when I have comfort in making a business with them. I did my due diligence and I found it legit.
No, Nyabonga Putam, were you a first-time homeowner or did you own property before?
No, to be honest with you, I did bought property in DDR, but to be honest, that property, I'm still fighting for it. Hence, I went an extra mile to go to the Randfontein municipality to find out exactly what is happening with that property because I couldn't afford to lose money for a second time. But with Ekasi Noble, I'm much more convinced that I can make business with them at ease and rest assured that at the end of the day, I'm going to have my property registered under my name.
No, I'm wishing you all of the best and looking forward to growing with you with Ekasi Noble Property Development. And I'm looking forward to kuzoshaya around endlini yakho ngizocela ne69 ngishaye ne69 inyana ukuthi ngiyibless idladla lakho yabo.
Mangaphathi MOFAYA brawami yawona welcome.
No, congratulations.
Thank you Jayami.
Maybe your last words to abantu ngara Ekasi.
Ngizobatshela
Other people maybe abafuna uku-investa ku property. Even mhlambe nalabo abayanga ababhana ne-car expensive ngicela ungathanda ukuthini ku.
Yazini brawami, to be honest with you ukuthi ikara kwamanje akusasento kumele uyibheke. We need to invest for a future. Mangikhuluma nge-future sikhuluma ngabantwana. We need to buy property. Each time mama welithenga idladla bekuyi-15,000. The very same house that my father bought it for 15. It's about more than 450 now. So you see the huge investment ayenzile for thina. That we need to create one for our kids.
No, Nyabonga kakhulu bhuti wami. Good to see you.
Thank you Jayami.
Looking forward to making history
Number
together.
one knocks me.
Nakanjani?
Whereas, hola.
It's more than just money. It's his brand new latest book. He does feature on the current brand new episode on the Property Talk Show. He was also our speaker here today at the property seminar. He's also a property investor. He started from the age of 18 from his mother when she left him with 7 rooms, and may Umama soul rest in peace. The incredible But Witness Mtaga. Thank you, my brother, for joining us.
Sir. Thank you so much for the invitation. That was amazing.
Why property?
Property is the easiest business anyone can get into. You need not be smart to get into property. You know, a lot of businesses require you to have a certain kind of understanding, learning systems, knowing systems, managing systems. But with property, anyone and just about anyone who affords to buy a property through the bank or to buy it cash can get into property. So for me, also it's a matter of being able to leave generational wealth. So that's the business I've been ushered into, and that's the business that I understand. And from the long-term perspective of being able to build wealth and leave it for the next generation, I understand it very well.
Now you've taken the 7 rooms that your mom's left you with. May your mama's soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
You've turned them into a company now with a
Yes.
property portfolio that just keeps growing every year. How have you been able to do that?
So a lot of it has been with building relationships with investors that are investing in the projects that we are doing, and also partnering with other developers that are doing amazing work. So we don't necessarily have to own 100% of a certain development. If a developer comes to us, says to us, we're doing this development, it's going to be 50 units. We don't mind joining in and putting in the equity that's required for like 10, 15 of those units to belong to us, and we manage the development. So it's a matter of partnering and growing instead of just wanting the whole pie. Like you said, like you buy land like you guys did here, and you cut it up so that many people can have a share of the development. So that's the mindset that we have around property, around investing, that we don't necessarily have to own everything, but we partner with as many companies, as many developments as possible so that we can grow.
It's more than just money. Your brand new book, what is it about?
It's more than just money. A guide to escaping the rat race and building generational wealth is to help people gain the right kind of mindset when it comes to business, when it comes to property, when it comes to buying shares and investing. Business, property, shares, those are the cornerstones of wealth creation. You either work in a business or you run a business. Even you're a DJ, you're a musician. That's a business. If you look at it as a business, you treat it as a business, you grow it as a business, then you get to take from that and invest in other asset classes, which would be property, which is the easiest one to get into. And you can also invest in shares or buy into other people's businesses, other people's developments. You can buy shares on the JSE and you can start small. So that's what the mindset around, or the reason around why that book was written, to conscientize young people with entrepreneurship, knowing and understanding that starting and growing a business need not necessarily be complicated. Investing in a property portfolio is not necessarily complicated if you've got the right tools and the right knowledge. And just the same as investing in shares or investing in businesses that have been started by other people, so that you too, over the years, can grow with them.
Incredible talk that you've had here. Thank you very much for coming to grace our investors with your amazing property wisdom. This Saturday, Sise Rustenburg, can you tell us a little bit more about that? And thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
So I will be with you over there. Tell us about Saturday.
So this coming Saturday, 22nd of April, we are in Rustenburg at the Royal Marang Hotel. And we'll be having a business seminar. It's a business and property seminar centered around, obviously, conscientizing people with entrepreneurship and teaching them the skills and the tools that are required to build a property investment portfolio. We've got you as a speaker. We've got Mpoma Tepe. She's an owner of a law firm. She also will be sharing tools and knowledge around the legal aspect of building a business and building a property investment portfolio. The things that one needs to understand and know. Refilwe Bokhatsu, he's got a property stock fair, he's got a livestock stock fair, he's in farming, and he'll also will be sharing knowledge. And of course, myself, I'm a businessman, I'm an investor, I'm an author. I'll be sharing my journey from when I started my property investment portfolio to now. What are the skills and the tools that people need for them to start where they are? Because you don't necessarily have to start big. You have to start where you are able to start. So I'm looking forward to that in Rustenburg. So it's actually a tour. It's a start of the 2023 tour. We'll be going across the whole country, all 9 provinces. We'll be doing these talks and these seminars in every province that we have in South Africa, so that people in our country, especially young people, can have access to this information, access to this knowledge, so that we can get into property. The best way to eradicate poverty is to build as many houses as possible. When you look at countries that have survived the world wars, what they did was by starting to build houses so that they could stimulate the economy and people could have jobs. So if our people can have the mindset around building property investment portfolios that will bring so much wealth into our communities.
I'm very proud of what you've done coming from Etembisa, and I'm looking forward to this Saturday at Rustenburg, and I'm looking forward to partnering together and growing together and this developing this skanga.
Yes.
You know, Kokasi
Yes.
skanga, but people will be shocked to see what this place is going to look like in the next few years.
In the next few years, I love the fact that there's a vision in place. And you talk about 5 years' time, 9 years' time. You know, someone might not see today, but that's what development is all about. You know, a developer has got the blueprint of what this thing is going to look like. And the best way to benefit from the upside is to get involved now while there still is ganga, so that
Sure.
masegu grand, expensive, abanye bazothenga kuwo masufuna ukuthenga
Sure.
and invest in other things.
Mr. Witness Mtanya Nxano, asibangene Saturday Rustenburg.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. Asambe Grootman.
Showcase. Mr. Singo is also a property investor. He's been in the property space longer than I have. And what I love about him is he's passionate about sharing the knowledge that he has and pushing the wisdom out there. And I just wanted to thank you, my brother,
Thank
for
you
being
so
present
much.
today at this property seminar and just the continuous work
Yes.
that you keep doing in liberating our people's mindsets.
Yes.
Maybe for those who don't know, who's Mr. Singo?
My name is Percy Singh, originally from Venda. I'm a civil engineer for one of the municipality around Gauteng, Ekurhuleni municipality. But I also have a master's in civil engineering, and then I'm also into property investment. And then the other thing that I do is a lot of seminars about saving and investing. But I also invest in property a lot, especially in the township, where you are more like you are taking let's say apartments which are in 4 ways, for example, the quality of the apartments in 4 ways, you are taking it to a township. So that I've done a lot of apartments that side in the townships.
Why should people get into property investment?
I feel like property investment doesn't require a lot of your time. It's those investments that you can be able to do while you are working. You don't have to stop your work in order to do them. And then you mainly don't talk to tenants in the middle of the month, and then the income is very good, especially at this time where the interest is going up and up. When you've got you are invested in property, you don't reach to that situation where you are saying, I have to sell the car, I have to sell the house, because there's a lot of income coming through.
And then what is your future for the rest of 2023 and what should we expect from you?
For this year, I've not been doing a lot of projects. I've been doing seminars. This is the 10 events that I'm doing today. And then this week, one of my work was released by Private Property on Thursday. And then so I'm doing a lot of work with the community where we are going to share the insight and information. But again, for me, I always take a break after a project. Then I will do another project in the coming years. Yeah.
And where do we find you? What are your social media platforms?
I am mainly on Facebook and Instagram, and then it's Percy Singo everywhere.
Percy, thank you so much, my brother. And
No,
I
thank
appreciate you wearing local landlords.
Yes.
And also just sharing that knowledge,
Yes.
liberating our people's minds around investments.
Yes, no, thank you so much.
Ke a leboha, Buti. Ke tsona. Mr. Lebogang Lebepe is a property investor, a property entrepreneur. He's the founder of Biz House Properties, which is his own property company. And I'm very humbled to have experienced him live on stage today, sharing his property wisdom and knowledge with the Ekasi Noble Property Developments investors and other people who came here today, new homeowners or people who want to get into property or those who are current property investors. Mr. Lebogang Lebepe, thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
How has the environment been today?
It's been incredible. We've learned a lot. We've engaged a lot with some of our investors. You get to meet with some of our investors in some of the projects that we involved in and the Ekasi Noble Properties. It's just been exciting and inspiring from hearing from the likes of you and all the other guest speakers that have been on the event itself. So it's just been incredible sharing the knowledge and experiencing the response from the people. It's just been good.
What does your company, Biz House Property, do?
We are basically a property development and investment company. Mainly we do developments in and around townships. We're bringing these lifestyle developments in the townships, and we are trying to uplift the township, and we're doing it brick by brick.
And I've seen that some of your investments are in townships. What is the difference between having developments Ekasi and Kodisabapong?
There's literally a gap where people that don't want to stay in the suburbs, or that don't want or that can't afford to actually stay in the suburbs, but they still want a comfortable, secured, and a place that they can also be proud to live in. So that's exactly what we're bringing to them, bridging that gap between the guy that stays in the back room and the guy that stays in the suburban area. So we're basically bringing the suburb standard back into the development in the township, so that our people can also access things like Wi-Fi, security. And also be comfortable and be proud to be living in such spaces, and also affordability of those particular rental accommodation.
Congratulations for your company investing in some of the Ekasi Noble Property developments. What gave you the reason to want to invest in Ekasi Noble Property developments and different opportunities?
I think more than anything, we are aligned in terms of what we want to see happening in the property space in South Africa or in Africa as a whole, by making sure that we're breaking the barrier to access into property investments in South Africa, and also making sure that our fellow people can also have access and be able to afford to invest in properties in South Africa, and also fighting the barriers and fighting some of the red tapes that are imposed on the new property investors that want to break into the industry. So the company Ekasi Noble Properties fights those battles that most people don't have to. Those that are joining into Ekasi Noble Properties, they don't have to actually share the burden of fighting regulations, fighting objectors, fighting for the rezoning processes, and Ekasi does that for them. So that's one of the things that made me really, really interested in wanting to work with Ekasi, because we share the same vision. We are aligned in terms of, what we want to see this country achieve in the property space, and breaking the barrier for more Black people to enter into the space, so that, as Africans, we can also own part of Africa, and be able to, be proud to be Africans with the ownership of Africa, instead of just, calling ourselves, as you put it, calling ourselves Africans, but without owning a piece of Africa. So that's one of the core values that Ekasi brings, and I'm proud to be part of it, and I'm proud to actually, walk the journey with them and ensure that we achieve those goals.
Well, I'm also proud to be a fellow investor with you, and I'm also very proud of you. Untwane Phume Kaslam eMadela Gufa, which is one of the most poverty-stricken communities eKasilethu, Madela Gufa Tembisa, to have achieved everything you've achieved. Thank you for being a shining light and being an inspiration to young boys and girls that are growing up at Tembisa Konamanje. May the good Lord keep opening up for you more blessings. May you grow in abundance. Magwande, makukhanye mfowethu, and siyabonga kakhulu ngomsebenzi owenzayo. Young as you are, everything you've achieved is so inspirational, and thank you for being that shining light and that inspiration to even bigger brothers like us.
Thank you very much for the continuous inspiration that you bring to us, the encouragement, the guidance that you freely give us, even though you're putting yourself in the spotlight to be ridiculed and be criticized for what you do, but you still carry that burden and make sure that you shine the light, so that an African child can see that there is light at the end of the tunnel, even though the situation might suggest otherwise, to say there's no hope where they are currently at. But with the light that you're shining, you're bringing a lot of hope into people like us that grew up at a distance, looking up to you, and you sharing that light without even really realizing the amount of impact that you're actually leaving on us, even people that you probably haven't met in person, but there's so much impact that your work and your words are doing to an African child. And thank you for the continuous inspiration.
I'm humbled by his words. Ladies and gentlemen, he's such a humble man, this man. Go research him and be inspired by this young man. Go follow him on his social media platform. Founder and CEO of Biz House Properties, Mr. Lebogang Lebepe. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Representing Ekasi Noble Property Development, Uputsia, I think a lot of people have been interested in the Ekasi Noble Property Developments, all different opportunities and investments that we've had over the past few years. But a lot of people are asking questions. Why are we not seeing any structures yet? When are we guys starting to build? What are the updates? How far are we? How many developments are there? And for those who don't know, how much opportunities are there? Can you tell us a little bit more about an update for our current investors and for those who don't know Ekasi Noble Property Developments opportunities?
Okay, Sanbonani, hello everyone. Mrs. Booth, thank you for having me. So, the confusing part in public, I understand the development process as how the correct way it's supposed to be done. Especially Ekasi, Tina Sbona Soguza and construction company. But asazi ukuthi how much of work and time consuming did it spend for them to get ready izinto, because why we are not just wanna give you a land that is unsellable when you wanna reinvest it again. Sifuna ukuthi when we are giving you something, the bank must be happy to take that product. So there are a lot of regulation that we need to go through, and then as much as we wanna make it public, he be happy with his bow, because not we are ready to bow. But as for no bow, and then 6 months time, they are demolishing the houses. Just like you've been seen in Pretoria, ba demolisha, Randfontein ba demolisha, Lanzeria, Lenzi. So we don't want all that. That's why we wanna follow our process every step. Once we give you your title deed, it can be easier for a bank to come and evaluate your title deed. That's okay. This particular portion, it is worth 500,000 on our panel without the house. So therefore, we can give you money to build the house because no one is risking. This thing of development, we tend to do it in a very wrong way, because now we don't want to follow the right procedures with the municipality. That's why we want most of the black developers maybe benza lento akuna skontira akuna infrastructure is because it's all not planned, and now a bank that doesn't even come and refinance that. So we head back to environment Ekasi. So Ekasi Noble Properties, it promised our members why we will follow the steps correctly until we give you your title deed. So just to give you a rough update for our first estate as a Randfontein in Robben Park, everything is quite going well. And
it's okay, you can kiss him on camera, that's fine.
Hello, bye-bye. I'll see you Lynette.
Maybe before she leaves as well, she can contribute a bit.
And also, Lynette's Boland property, it was Lynette's baby when it started. So
before she leaves, I want her to come closer on the mic and just give us a word of encouragement as young black property developers, as you've been one of the people that have been instrumental in helping companies like Boland Properties become who they are today. What is a message of advice to young black property developers?
Well, you've come a long way, and it's wonderful to see these young people that are so absolutely inspirational. They even inspire me, that's already older. And Bolwen also started small, and then they just branched out. I think the secret is also to use the money for one development and plow it back in that development before you move on to another development. And that is what Ekasi Noble is doing right. They've got 3 projects running, but they line their money up for that specific project. You don't have to have so many eggs in your basket that you spread your money around. You must just concentrate on one development at a time. And it is wonderful to see how Ekasi Noble has started this model, which is, I think, a phenomenon in South Africa. And this meeting was a huge success. And it's nice that the young people are so inspirational because they give us all hope for a wonderful South Africa.
And thank you very much in being open to want to share the passing on of skills and the passing on of knowledge. Your mentorship to us as new property developers means a lot, because a lot of people with knowledge, sometimes they tend to be selfish with their knowledge. So thank you for your mentorship and holding us by the hand in making sure that our projects become a success. We appreciate you.
It's a great pleasure. I love passing on knowledge. So we work as a team together at Namford and we learn from each other by basically every single day something new.
Thank you very much. May God bless your company and your family as well. We appreciate the role that you're playing in our development.
And may God bless you and Ekasi Noble and you with your drinks.
We receive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. And what I love about her is, and sorry to disturb you, the passing on of information nokuthi asibambe ngesandla, because most yabanye abantu basuke babe nomona ukuthi olezi abodaki masses yangena la in baba selfish nge-information, sometimes basabotage. Like even recently we've seen ku social media abanye bafoma ama fake accounts because development abayifuni in the area and they don't understand whether bayathanda or abathandi siyayenza lento.
And what I always tell people, Tina, is for you to show you the dream. But abantu who have been pushing this work, they've been doing this for 30, 60 years. Those are our front people, same as Namford Attorney. I mean, they are the ones who are handling Imam Singita Femi. They've built a Jabulani Mall. They are owning a Protea Glen Mall. They have malls in Limpopo. It's a well-established company. So having ama attorneys wabo guiding you through the whole process, it also comes back with why are we not building? What are we waiting for? Because when people search Guma title deed at deeds office, they say we are owning these lands. But why are we not bowing? It's because when we wanna bow, we wanna bow something that can be sellable to the bank. So, I mean, we are following the process. So, Robin Park, we were supposed to have built, I think...
the last person is Patega.
So,
the lady is Patega. Sure. The last person, Patega.
At Robin Park, we were supposed to have built in 6 months ago. But then because of the minings on the area, we were at movement. So we had to go back and do ama geotech. We had to go back and redesign our foundation, which is suitable for the certain study that we are doing. But then good news is that last month we did get all our certificate. So the development, we should start building in the next coming 2 or 3 weeks. And also we have already started doing landscaping, the roads. So basically Robin Park is done. And currently today, as we are here on site at Base Nodia, the Namford attorneys were helping abantu to sign for our title deeds wab. So basically they were signing our transfer documents and everything. Would say Robin Park is now done and sealed. We are done ngayo, and I would love to say thank you to our investors who really believed on us, and is as much as Bogunama delays, but they did understand the delay, because at the end we want to create a legacy. These properties abazos tola manje, the bank can easily finance it, because we've went all the necessary studies that are needed to be done by the bank, which is Robin Park is done, and also same as Bayesno D currently where we are here. So Lana, we are also in a delay because of the community that is around us. Ukuthi, who are we? What are we gonna bring here? Are we gonna bring us and squatter camp? Are we gonna devalue our properties wabo, or are we gonna upper their value? So we are just on those negotiations. But in our corner, everything is looking good. And once that is done, we can also start building, because now if we bypass these processes, you as an investor, the bank will never finance your property or your stand. So meaning you've wasted your money. So why do we have to follow my process? Because when we are submitting a bank, it wants all the certificate, all the studies. Okay, study one is done until the last start. And then once they are happy with everything, that is when they say, okay, we are putting your development on our panels. And also, so that is based no dear, but the timeline, less than 6 months, we should be done with everything and starting to build. That's what we are currently pushing. So basically, based no dear, this year we are building. We have followed the process, and now the process is almost done. So we are definitely building at Besnadia this year also.
The most exciting one that is moving like crazy. First of all, I just want to say congratulations for having over 200 investors.
And also, sorry to cut you, Mrs. Boo, Green Hills. Now Green Hills, we got all the approvals as a corner, and now it's ready to go. So literally these developments are now blowing up zonke at the same time, because as much as abantu they want us to see us building, as for when we high hope, and then 6 months we're gonna TLB, so we are demolish your structure. We want you to invest. This is a lifetime investment until I sell it to the next person.
Thank you, and congratulations for having over 200 investors. Yes. And I want to congratulate all of you guys who have invested in all the Ekasi Noble Property Development opportunities. I do know a lot of you guys, it's obviously because of me as an ambassador, and I'm just glad, and I want to appreciate your patience, because sometimes abanye lose the patience, which there has been a very good refund policy. Ekasi Noble, they've been refunded imali zabo. Abanye mhlambe bashonelwe sebafuna imali zabo back, abanye they don't want to go ahead. But pretty much that has been a very less number, because majority of you guys are moving with us all the way. And I also want to congratulate all of you guys who are investing in all the developments, because you are seeing an opportunity. Thank you for believing in us. It's not easy for people to believe in a brand new black-owned young property development company. It means a lot to us. The most exciting opportunity right now that is flying like crazy is North Riding. North Riding, Ngonyama Lifestyle Estate is coming. Tell us about that one as we wrap it up.
North Riding is hot. North Riding is hot. So in North Riding, we are literally inside an estate, doing an estate. That is one. And the investment opportunity that we are currently giving now is like a giveaway, because the market value of what you guys are investing on is currently on 750,000. But because you are investing for us to cook the product until it's ready, so that when as an investor you can resell it again. So North Riding is hot, and yes, you know, we are almost literally sold out with our investment. The way it's so moving, because check for one, when you get your stand at 350,000, the new price, the investment of your stand. So once the development is ready, automatically that stand is going to be worth about 750,000. So now we are just talking about the stand only, and then the house that you can borrow. Our next door development, they are selling a 2-bedroom from 2.2 M. So meaning when if you are borrowing a 3-bedroom, it won't be valued at less than 2.5 M. So you have already made over 100% profit, because now you invested into a development at 350 for us to do the development and do all the necessary things that are needed to be done. And then when the product is ready, the product is worth 750,000. And then you can build your house with 500,000, a 3-bedroom, just a rough calculation. With a 500,000, you have a 3-bedroom, double garage. That house on that area is valued nothing less than 2.5 million. So it's a 350 plus the 500 for Boeing, 850. But you get to sell it at 2.5 million, you 3850, you sell it 1.7 something.
Siyabonga kakhulu Butsi, and may the good Lord bless you, and I'm humbled to be associated with you guys.
Yes.
The journey hasn't been easy, it's full of challenges, but I love challenges.
Yes.
And I love getting into a space that challenges me to grow as well. Because I've never been exposed to property development before like I am now. Thank you for choosing me to be an ambassador for Ekasi Noble, and I'm very proud. You guys being young, it means a lot to be learning from young people like you guys, and it means a lot for me to see black people who are thinking that big. Because it's cutting this thing, we think about just renovating and selling that property.
Everyone is thinking of buying a property, renting it out. So why is not developing the whole
thing, you know?
You know what I mean?
I never thought I'll be owning my own estate one day. So for me to be an investor at Ekasi Noble Property Development, that's how I feel. I feel like it's my estate, and I feel like not only an ambassador, I feel like a part of the family, and also the beautiful things that we're going to bring in our estates that people don't know. We won't divulge much, but you guys knowing me coming from the media space, our developments are going to have podcast studios, TV studios, radio studios. We're going to have, guys, we're going to take this property game to the next level. And I'm just so proud and honored to be associated with you and to be working with you and to be learning from you. I'm looking forward to making history together, Putwa.
No, let's make history, Mrs. Bo. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, sir. And maybe your last words to especially the current investors, over 200 of them, what would you like to say to them? Which camera? This one. Now.
I'd just love to say to them, congratulations, because literally, it's growing, because now what is exciting us is that, remember, we are following the step, and to us is to build a legacy and make a mark. One day we need to all become successful into development. So I'm happy for our members as we are almost at the end line of the road. I know it's been a very difficult road and time consuming also, but if you want to invest in property, you must have that spare time, because it doesn't go always as planned, because you need to deal with the municipality. Like you are literally dealing with 50 different entities to get Eastern Esako ready according to the bank standard. But we are almost there, and thank you for everyone who have invested.
Thank you.
Have a lovely one.
And I'm humbled. I must say this again. When this thing started in the beginning, it was just me being booked in J for an opportunity of speaking at some of your seminars and just doing some posts and doing some work with you guys for a few months. I'm glad that our relationship has become this big, where we are now making history in the country. And you've opened me up to things that I was not aware of. That's why I'm saying property development.
Especially if you can turn Iskanga into Ekasi. Why not? Because when you meet the other race everywhere, they are literally, all of them, they are owning these estates that we are saying, Hlalaguzo. They are literally owning them. Bona uthola ukuthi umama nobaba nomkhulu, but they have their own corner. This is their estate, and it's either we are renting or we are buying through the bank, you see. But now it's time for us to create. You can't say you are an African but you don't have a piece of Africa.
Exactly. So Tina bafethu ayijika lento njengoba ngihlale ngintshela mina ngishaya local every day, even sengibona estate yami ke nama partners wami shange estate yethu phuza drink yethu sihlala estate yabo takhe onwabo takhe top I estate nyana nje thatha ama chance. Sizokwenza sure ukuthi top because we've got a point to prove, and that's why I like the fact that we are so patient with the municipal laws, and I'm actually glad even that our investors are also patient with us.
Because Mrs. Boo, a person who knows the rezoning process, we understand. And also, even these big companies, why are they just sitting and looking? It's because they went and checked. And Bible, yes, says these guys are following this process. And trust me, you need to love it. If you don't love it, you won't do it. Because the moment you open this door, the next one is closed. The moment you open this one, until the development, it got.
Representative from Ekasi Noble Property Development, Butsiya, Siyabonga kakhulu, and I'm very humbled once again. Ngiyabonga, Butwana.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, hustlers. Thank you, hustlers. Let's hustle. Thank you.
From PP Malipale, we've got Usis Patega Malipale. I'm humbled to be sitting with the wealth of wisdom like you, Siso Siyabonga.
Kubonga mina Butwana. Ngiyabonga kakhulu for being here, and also thank you for this opportunity.
The first thing I'd like to say, what is PP Malipale's involvement with Ekasi Noble Property Development?
Hey, you know, when we go out there most of the time with all these workshops, we always preach about networking. So it's a chain, if I can tell you. It's really a chain because I met, at first I met, let me say I was working with a lady called Elise Leroux. At a company called SSLR Incorporated, and then she introduced me to M5, and then from M5 I had to meet Sis Lindile, the one with Stockfell, and then from there she introduced me to Ulebu, and then from Ulebu introduced me to Ekasi. So that's why I'm saying when we go out there with all these workshops, we always preach networking. Don't just go there and sit and listen and don't mingle with other people, because there's just like I'm here. I didn't know that I can be here, but through Lebo, I'm here.
What does PP Malipale do?
PP Malipale is a law firm. We started operating from the 1st of April 2021, and we purely doing property. So we're all about property, and that is why we're dealing with a lot of property investors, because we're preaching creation of wealth. So wealth creation is our language most of the time, because we are saying to our people that it is time that now we can make the change that we have been wanting to do. So it's a law firm that is basically doing property development. We also do conveyancing, which is we're dealing with conveyancing is broad because there's estates involved, there's divorce involved, there's quite a lot of things that are involved in conveyancing. And also we don't do much of litigation, but we do assist in property litigation as well.
We've got a lot of hustlers, they own their own small businesses, they're making up 5,000 every month, they're making up 10,000 every month, 20,000 every month, 50,000 every month. What would you like to say to especially the younger ones who are not exposed to property yet?
I would say to the younger ones, first of all, you need to find something that you know that in property, this is what I would like to do. When we teach about property, there's property letting, there's property development, and then you would want to buy property for yourself. But again, some people, they would say, I would love to go for flipping. For example, you just buy property for profit. You buy a property that is distressed, and then you just renovate, and then you make money out of it. It depends on what you want to do. But all we say is do something. Don't just have that money. And also, I think gone are the days now where everyone would be like, I'm earning 40,000 Rand and I just want to show off. So gone are those days where people are showing off. So people now, they just want to own something. So let's own something that is valuable, that is property. Because we can own cars, we can own shares, we can own it, but they take time sometimes to give you something. But cars, obviously, they can't give you much unless you are buying those expensive ones. But when it comes to property, you for sure know that that property is going to increase in value.
Thank you very much, Ms. Malipale. It really means a lot to be learning from you. I'm humbled to meet you. Maybe your last words that you might share with our hustlers out there as we are wrapping it up, and also where can they find you?
Oh, you know, my last word that I can say to everyone is, one, you need to know that if you want to venture into business, you can never do it alone. Do it with a team. And in that team, we obviously preach power team. When we preach power team, we say, have an attorney in your power team, have an accountant in your power team, have someone who understands tax in your power team, have every person that you know, like your construction guys, everyone that has got knowledge, because you can never do it alone. So have a team with you in which you know that moving along, you are not just moving along to make the mistakes. Yes, I'm not saying you won't make the mistakes, you will make the mistakes, but you will make less mistakes if you have a team in place. So be part of a team and know for a fact that it is doable. You can do anything, and we are here to educate you. We are here to make sure that even if you make certain mistakes, at least it mustn't be mistakes that will cost you that much. So in closing, I can say PP Malipale Incorporated is a law firm specializing in conveyancing and property development. You can find us. We are here in Rudeport, just off 14th Avenue from the N1. You can get me there. My name is Pateka Malipale. Thank you.
Are you on Facebook?
Yes, on Facebook it's PP Malipale, and then I'm not sure about Twitter. I don't think I'm on Twitter, but Instagram as well. You can find me there, and on my website as well.
Thank you very much, ma'am. May the good Lord bless your project.
Thank you so much
and
for
may you
this,
grow in abundance. Magwande makhanye siyabonga.
Sabonga kakhulu. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Enkosi.
Thank you.
Another property investor, Ospabi, is here, and she's an entrepreneur in her own right, and we are humbled to have her join us today. How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Spoo. I'm absolutely great. This was amazing.
I think the first thing I'd like to say is congratulations, being a woman, taking up space in the South African business community in South Africa. How has it been, and some of the challenges that you've had to travel over the years as a young businesswoman?
Being a Black woman, I initially actually started in the financial services sector. I had a small investment company with a partner of mine named Danielle Lester. And what we basically used to do is we used to teach people how to trade in Forex, commodities, shares, etc. And then we also had like an investment portfolio. That industry was very cutthroat because we were actually one of the very few young Black women to go into an industry like that. Along the way, I think one of the things that we actually found in that industry is that there were a lot of people who actually had this mindset that it's very quick to make money, and they started opening businesses like that, and that opened up, for a lot of scammers, a lot of people who are actually just in there to dupe people. So what I can say is one of the challenges that I actually found specifically with that company is that, number one, we were female. We had to really work extremely hard to prove that, number one, we have every right to be in this industry. We know exactly what we're doing. We've got a legitimate brand. Our company does work very professionally. And then obviously with what I've just mentioned now about what had been happening in the industry with a lot of other people cropping up who are duping people is trying to legitimize ourselves as well and say that we are not like that. We actually do business right. So these are just some of the challenges that I can say I've experienced. I've had a number of businesses. That was one of them. And I think one of the things that I can say from a long time is I really depended on funding myself. So this company that I've mentioned, as well as 4 others, literally capital that I had put into the business was my own capital. And one thing that I can say to you is that don't be afraid to actually go out there and look for people who can invest in your product. Because clearly, if you know what you're doing, you've got a belief in what you're doing, and you know that what you're selling is good, you can go out there and actually engage with people and see who's actually willing to actually fund you and invest in your business. So I think that's one of the challenges that I can say as an entrepreneur as well that I've faced is I have been funding businesses myself, maybe scared that if I bring an investor in, I might fail along the way, and how do I then become accountable to them as well?
Now you're in property.
Yes.
Why invest in property, and your experience today?
Let me start off with the experience from today. Today has been absolutely powerful. I mean, there's been a number of really inspirational young entrepreneurs who are property investors. They are in the investment space. They're doing developments. It's been such an incredible experience hearing the personal stories of those people. Previously, when you actually think about the property industry, it's been a white-dominated industry. We are only now. And I think the reason why a lot of us Black people are actually waking up to this is because there's a lot of information that is being offered. I mean, this is a great platform that's actually getting youth, getting Black people to know, guys, you've been investing in wrong things. You've been wasting money on luxurious items, driving the latest car, living in a certain area.
I'm guilty. I'm one of them.
And you're one of
But at least
them, right?
I'm still alive, and God has given me a second chance, and I'm grateful.
And I can tell you that I'm one of them as well. It's one of the biggest mistakes that I did. My first job, I bought myself an expensive car, and you know what? That thing of being given like some sort of self-worth from people because they see what you have. And I think as Black people previously, because we've been disadvantaged, right? We've wanted to show that we can also be here. We can also make it. We also have this. But that mindset is actually a wrong mindset. So with the information that we have right now, with events such as these, where you're really trying to get a lot of knowledge out there to people about the property industry, this is a long-term investment. You know, one of the things that I can say I actually loved today is you mentioned in your speech, and you said, we are all about this whole, we're proudly African. But when you say you're proudly African and you fight for being proudly African, but you don't actually own a piece of land in this country, in Africa, hang on a bit. You need to reassess yourself and just think about that. Is it worth buying an expensive car, spending, let's say, R1 million and staying in an apartment that you're actually renting out? Why not take that and buy a piece of land in the land that you are, fighting for so much and saying, I'm proudly African, I'm proudly South African. So I can say that's one of the things that stuck through, but also just the gems that, a lot of the speakers were giving us today were just so powerful. Their personal stories about their rises. We had the likes of Witness, we had the likes of Lebohang, we had Lady Do who was here. And for me, just listening to each and everyone's personal story of how they started out, some of them didn't start with a property background, but along the years, they started to see that this is something I should get involved in. That was really, really impactful. And obviously, one of the biggest things is the fact that we are here in this. It might look like a farm, like what you kept saying, but this is an opportunity for us as Black people to actually see what a lot of white people actually see, where they see land, and instead of seeing the land and the farm, they're actually seeing the opportunity that that land can actually bring. So I'm just hoping that a lot of the people that were here will actually see what exactly you were teaching and what you're trying to impart, that look at the opportunity. Don't look at the fact that this is just bare land. Look at what this can actually do, and in the next 5-10 years, what is this place going to be looking like? Let me go to your other question, why property? Land, being in financial services, knowing about other investment opportunities as well, and being exposed to that. Land is a long-term investment. So if you're going to be investing in property, you know that this is something that can leave a legacy for yourself, for your kids, and your children to come. This is something, if you are in your 30s, this can be part of your retirement plan. That by the time you retire, this is something that's actually going to be bringing you a monthly income. So I'd really appeal to a lot of young people out there to say this is the time to get into property. If you need to start small, you've given these examples, and so did the other speakers that were here, to say if it means you can't afford it and maybe there's a township development that you could get involved in somewhere, Ekasi, where you can start with rooms, start there, because that's a start. And then at a later stage, when you've got more money, then you can start investing into bigger projects. But this is the industry to get into, because this is a long-term investment that guarantees you,
generational wealth.
Generational wealth. This is how the Jews started. If you look at a lot of countries, whether it's America, whether it's here in South Africa, the people who are owning properties are normally Jews. So let's take a book from the book that they've written. You even look at the Muslims as well. They own lots of property. So this is the time. Stop sleeping on it. Don't sleep on it. And yes, we are having a conference. You're part of it. This was an amazing initiative to be part of. You're going to be with us in Rustenburg for
the 25th,
more than just
right?
money.
25th,
yes,
no?
On the 22nd.
22nd, sorry.
Yes, we'll be in Rustenburg.
Where in Rustenburg?
We're going to be at the Royal Marang Hotel. in Rustenburg. So if you are in Rustenburg, or even if you're anywhere in the country, because each event is going to be completely different. I mean, we've got my brother here who's going to be speaking. So I would really advise for you to invest as well. Invest in knowledge like that, projects like these, invest in this kind of knowledge and knowing more about the industry.
May the good Lord bless you, Ospabi. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, guys. Oh, sorry, in just wrapping it up, I just wanted to say today we didn't have a formal, normal Monday episode with PENUEL or with Nota or with any guest. We just decided let us screen what was happening over the past weekend at our property seminar at our Bears Nodia farm. Here's the opportunity. All these cars that you see here, most of them are investors with Ekasi Noble Properties, and a lot of them are property investors, even though not with Ekasi Noble Properties, but they just came here to network with other property investors. And I was very impressed to see an 18-year-old who's here, who came all the way from Limpopo, who says, because social media property mara I'm investing in these types of knowledge. I go to seminars. I was so impressed that wow, if only when I was 18 I was already attending these types of events, I'd be extremely far today. But I just wanted to say thank you for tuning into today's episode. Go check out other episodes that side on Virtual MKHUKHU. Check out the PENUEL show. He dropped an episode this morning as well, and we are dropping episodes Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays here on the Hustlers Corner. We'll see you with a normal back to regular scheduling on Wednesday with a guest, and then on Friday with another guest, and then we are back next week on Virtual MKHUKHU with PENUEL, and we are back next week right here on Hustlers Corner with Nota, who's currently in America. Thank you very much to all of our property investors. Check out our brand new The Property Talk Show, and go and follow Ekasi Noble Property Development on Facebook. Learn about the opportunities that they have. Learn about property investing. Do not invest in anything before doing thorough research, before doing your own due diligence and being informed and knowledgeable before you can put in your money in anything, or you can invest your time and energy into anything. I've decided that the rest of my life, I'm going to be spending it in the property development space, and I'm humble and thankful to Ekasi Noble Properties for giving me that opportunity. Let's make a difference, guys. We're always crying about the land. Here is an opportunity right now for us to start small and grow with this knowledge. And as we make a little bit of money, let's start investing in things that make sense for us so we can then create generational wealth. Have a great Monday. I'm wishing you guys a great week. Thank you very much for tuning in once again today. Ekasi Noble Property Development. They are here, and they are here to stay. We are building, we are upgrading these areas, we are developing Johannesburg, and very soon we will be developing the rest of the country, South Africa, and very soon we will be developing the rest of the continent of Africa. I'm just excited that I'm in this property development space, because I do know in the future there's a lot of money to be made. Right now, it's just all about learning as much as I can learn. I'd like to encourage you as well to start that journey of learning. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.